Welcome back to another video. Today I am sharing the 3 recipes that I was able to whip together for my family that took about 10 to 15 minutes each. If you're new here, my name is Leah and I am all about spending less and creating more. And today I am spending less time in my kitchen and creating more delicious foods. So if you're interested, let's get cooking. The first meal that I want to share with you took about 15 minutes start to finish because I already had some cooked chicken breast in my fridge. So I pulled that out along with some mozzarella and Parmesan cheese. I'm going to use this basil pesto and some cheese tortellini, and it's going to create a complete meal. You can add a side salad or some vegetables to go along with it. So I'm starting out by just slicing the chicken breast into smaller pieces, depending on how many you're trying to feed. And then I'm going to put that into a casserole dish and layer it with all of the good flavors. So right now, as I'm doing this, I've already got some water going on to boil on my stovetop, waiting for the tortellini. And then once that goes in, it's going to only take about 10 minutes. So once I have all of my chicken sliced, I'm going to just add a couple of big spoonfuls of the pesto, mix that in together, and then top it with some shredded mozzarella. Now you can put this into the oven. All you need to do, since the chicken is already cooked, is just let it heat through and let the cheese melt. But I'm going to just put this in my microwave, makes things go even faster. Once the tortellini is completely cooked, you're just going to add a little bit of the pesto to it, chop up a salad or cook some broccoli or vegetables, whatever you prefer, and there you have it, a complete dish. And I mentioned this so many times before, but it really is such a lifesaver to have meat already cooked and done in the fridge for you, especially for those nights that you just don't know what you want to cook or you don't feel like you have the time. Lunch meat is another fast protein to keep in your fridge for easy nights. So next I'm going to share with you an easy baked Monte Cristo. To make my version of the baked Monte Cristo sandwiches, I'm going to be using some ham and turkey. I just like this natural choice one. It happens to be honey deli ham, turkey. I bought this turkey a while back, froze it, defrosted it for tonight. And then I'm going to use some white cheese. Now I love provolone, but I'm out, so I'm just gonna use this American white cheese. And then some buns of your choice. I love this artisan bread. The Market Mill is the Kroger brand, and I got it on clearance. So I'm just gonna use 4 of them for my family and then use a small casserole dish to bake them. We're gonna line it with the meat and the cheese and have a sauce, and we're gonna make it with the Dijon mustard, honey, some mayo, and then mix that all together for like a sweet and spicy honey mustard, and then top it all with some jam. You can use raspberry jam or strawberry. I'm using strawberry that I made. And then we'll serve it with some chips and some pickles or peaches, whatever the kids want. So let's go ahead and get this all put together. So the first thing I'm going to do is mix up our mustard, mayo, and honey to get our honey mustard. So there's not really a specific recipe that I use for this, but I'm gonna go ahead and just use a nice big spoonful of the Dijon. And if you don't like any spicy honey mustard, then just use regular. It's not gonna be super spicy, but it'll have a little bit of a kick to it. And then I'm going to add a little less than a 1/4 cup of mayo. We're just gonna make it nice and creamy. And then because my kids are not gonna want all spicy honey mustard, I'm gonna add some regular mustard to this as well. I'm going to use another spoonful, large spoonful of regular mustard. And then we're just gonna mix all that together. If you want it really mustardy, just go ahead and add some more mustard. But this pale yellow is what we like. And then I'm going to add about a tablespoon of honey. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just put on our sauce onto each piece of our bread. And then I'm gonna layer all of the meat and cheese on top of that. Now, a traditional Monte Cristo sandwich, I don't believe has this sauce, but I just think it is so good. And once you pair it with the preserves of your choice, it is so delicious. There's just nothing like it. Now, I know another aspect of the traditional Monte Cristo sandwich is either to have it grilled or even have it battered like a French toast and then have it pan fried. I'm just doing this baked. I'm not actually going to be battering it or anything like that, but this is so delicious. I think you're gonna really enjoy it. And it may not be like your traditional Monte Cristo, but it's gonna give you some of those same like savory and sweet and cheesy flavors that you get from a Monte Cristo. Now you can add as much meat to these as you want. I like to add a good amount to each of them. That way we fill up, but it's not on the bread. We actually get a good amount of meat. Now I'm just going to add some sauce to the tops of each of these. There was a sandwich place that I used to go to when I lived in Michigan, and they would serve a bacon turkey club sandwich, and they would have a really good sweet honey mustard. Like they would put more honey in their sauce, and they would be toasted on this really good bakery bread, like a baguette. And it is so good. I have made that a few times, and every time I make this sandwich, it makes me think of it. Like just add some bacon and grill it. So good. All right, now to help things get melted quicker, I'm just going to microwave it for just a little bit. And then once those have been microwaved for just about a minute, starting to melt the cheese in there, I'm just going to butter the tops of these, and then we're gonna stick them into the oven and let them get nice and toasted. Then you just top it with the jam. And you could technically top it with some powdered sugar on here as well. There you have a super simple lunch or dinner. Tastes so good. This last meal that I'm sharing with you literally took 10 minutes, start to finish, because I'm using these fully cooked chicken sausages. They taste so delicious, as well as a bag of microwavable brown rice and quinoa, and then just a can of vegetables. I am adding some of these green chilies to the rice later on, but the first thing I wanted to do was get my green beans onto the stovetop. Of course, you could microwave them to cook them even faster. And then in my microwave, I'm doing 90 seconds for the rice. Now for the chicken sausages, you can either slice them like I am to help them cook faster. You could put them into the oven on a sheet pan or cook them on the stovetop. You could leave them whole and microwave them. You could put them out on a grill. It's completely up to you. They're very versatile. And there are other brands of chicken sausages that you can cook. You can do this exact same concept with something that's not made of chicken. As long as it's fully cooked, it will happen so fast for you. And then there's other varieties of flavors as well. So I am adding that can of green chilies directly to the bag of brown rice and quinoa just to not have to dirty up another bowl. And then I scoop everything out and serve it to my family. It was so delicious. The sausages with this mango and jalapeno do have a little bit of a kick to them, but even my 2-year-old gobbled it up. It was not too spicy for her. I think you guys are going to love this. So I hope that this gave you some inspiration for your next meal. And of course, until the next video, I will see you in the comments.